Hello there, and today's first two pages come from Elizabeth Haynes, The Murder of Harriet Monckton. This is one I don't know anything about, and it's my wife's book, but she hasn't read it yet, so she doesn't know anything about it. She's decided that she might watch this video and pick it up. It is a murder mystery set in the mid-1800s, or just before the mid-1800s. So yes, it says, brimming with lust, mistrust, and guilt. This is a masterclass of suspense from one of the greatest crime writers. It's not a genre that I have read much of. I'm definitely very in the kind of fantasy science fiction camp when I read books. So I'm afraid crime novels are not something that I do. But as I mentioned in an earlier video, I do love a book with a map. I like to be able to go back to the map and say, oh, that's where that's taking place. Oh, right, okay. Yes, set in an English village or town, or Bromley in Kent, back in the it says 1843, so mid-1800s. So, without further ado, here are the first two pages of The Murder of Harriet Monckton by Elizabeth Haynes. When death comes to visit, he arrives clothed in the most unexpected of disguises. Harriet Monckton did not have time to think this or remark upon something as profound as death or life. She did not even, in the end, have time to say her prayers or ask for help or confess her sins. But at least she was not alone. Such a privilege is not afforded to all. Perhaps this act visited upon her was one of mercy. She did not deserve it. Mercy, that is. Standing straight back, proud, a small frown as if she'd been interrupted in an act of prayer instead of what had actually just taken place, something far more earthly. The very air around her was filthy, contaminated. She reeked of sin. There had been a conversation, a little of it, hushed, although this late and in this place there was nobody to hear. Perhaps someone might be walking home for a visit along the lane, some 30 yards away, but here they were entirely alone. There is something else I could help you to do. She said, I thought we'd agreed you're not the first girl to find herself in trouble, you know. It's obvious to anyone with an eye and half a brain. Look at you. She even looked down at herself. Dresses hide a great deal, but there comes a point where the swelling of a girl's belly lifts the bottom of her stays and the whole shape of her looks odd, looks wrong. If I just had enough money, she said, then I could go away and not trouble anyone any further. There is a better way. Solves the problem altogether. Do you want it or not? What is it? A draft. It will help you get back to the way you were. The effect is very quick. She considered it. She even looked at the bottle, although she did not read the label. If she had, she would have seen this. The cordial balm of Syricum, for treatment of those who have fallen into a state of chronic disability. Nervous disorders of every kind, sinkings, anxieties, and tremors which so dreadfully affect the weak and the sedentary will, in a short time will be succeeded by cheerfulness and every passage of health. Provided by R&L Perry & Co., Perry's Purifying Specific Pills, 19 Berners Street, London. The cordial balm of Syricum, of course, was not what the bottle contained. Surely it would be a terrible sin, she said, but already she was wavering. The look on her face, dismal, followed by doubt. Whatever plans she had made herself, they were not foolproof. Things could always go wrong. And how much easier it would be to clean the slate and start again. She would do things differently, of course, and life would slip back to the way it was. She would be respectable, whole. She could go to Arundel as she planned to. Before her problem manifested itself, she could still, although she was getting on in age, make a fair match. Quite an intriguing opening. Obviously, we're talking to Harriet Monckton there, and the conversation is with the killer. But who is the killer? Apparently, it could be any number of people, according to the blurb at the back. So nice, evocative writing there, and that kind of internal dialogue. That was quite nice. I liked that. And obviously, in the 1800s, a unmarried young lady who found themselves with child was a pariah and would be often shipped off to the country to have the child live in shame. So you can understand her motivations there. And I would imagine she drinks the potion, and that's how she dies. Bless her, poor Harriet. Cut off so cruelly in the first two pages of a book. But that is The Murder of Harriet Monckton by Elizabeth Haynes. If that has tickled your fancy, you can pick it up and have a read. It's a substantial old read. So Thank you very much. I hope that was interesting. If you've liked it, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you can see more of these videos as they come out. Thank you very much for watching. Stay well, stay safe, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye for now.